My brother's son threw my birthday cake on the floor and said, "Eat it off the ground." I turned 40 in a quiet corner of Paris, in a small apartment that overlooked the Seine. I had planned a simple evening candles, a chocolate cake from a bakery in Montmartre, and a few close relatives. My brother, Paul, arrived late, as usual, with his wife and their teenage son, Julian. Julian had always been the kind of boy who believed the world spun just for him. He grew up surrounded by things I never had: expensive gadgets, endless praise, and a sense of entitlement that filled every room he entered. Still, I wanted peace. Family, after all, is family. The evening began smoothly. We ate dinner, laughed politely, and I almost believed it would be one of those rare calm gatherings. Then, as I lit the candles on my cake, I saw the way Julian watched it, not with joy, but with something darker. He stepped closer, hands in his pockets, an amused smile spreading across his face. Before I could blow out the candles, he tilted the cake stand. It fell. The cake hit the floor with a soft thud, icing splattering across the tiles like a cruel punchline. The room froze. Paul's wife gasped, but said nothing. My brother looked at his son, then at me, and laughed awkwardly. Julian smirked, as if he had just won something. No one spoke. The candles flickered on the floor, still burning. I remember staring at the mess the cake I had chosen with care, now ruined, and realizing how fragile dignity can feel when silence becomes a shield for cruelty. For a long moment, I wanted to shout, to demand respect. But instead, I smiled. A quiet, deliberate smile that seemed to unsettle them more than anger ever could. Without a word, I fetched a cloth, cleaned the floor, and threw the remains into the bin. Then I returned to the table, poured myself a glass of wine, and sat back down as if nothing had happened. The air was heavy, and one by one, they began to make excuses to leave. When the door finally closed behind them, I stood alone in the quiet hum of the city. I looked out the window, watching the lights dance on the river, and felt something inside me shift. That night, I decided it would be the last time I invited them into my home. Not out of bitterness, but because I finally understood that family isn't defined by blood, but by respect. The next morning, I bought myself another cake, smaller, simpler, and ate it by the window while the sun rose over Paris. It wasn't a grand celebration, but it was mine, and for the first time in years, it felt enough.